Now that you've drawn your first sketches, you have your spaceship design, you have your world building sketches of how the infrastructures are going to start looking at in that world that you're building. Now let's do something fun. We can take this further. Now, if you have an artist you're collaborating with and you don't have enough skills in actually drawing, you can send these sketches to your favorite artist and ask them to actually redraw those and send you a more cleaner sketch from what you've come up with. Now, that's a process I used when I was starting up because my skills in drawing are nowhere to some of the top artists I work with, but collaboration usually brings these worlds to life. So if you have an artist, somebody that you like or you look up to, or you can draw yourself, now let's take it further. Now, if you have, for example, Photoshop or Procreate, I don't know if you guys know these two softwares, get the sketch, take a photo of it or scan it, and then put it in Photoshop. Now, what I want you to do, especially if you have a spaceship, get a space image that shows planets or just the stars, and then place that same image within that space and see if this can be something that could be part of your story. Now, that's going to give you some sort of excitement once you see what it could be. Right now, when it comes to the world building, now what I'm thinking for the worlds, if you can get an image that has just clouds or just the sky, and then maybe before you scan different shapes of buildings of structures within your world, if you can scan that in and get that same sketch, put it just below the sky and just visualize how those sketches of that world you've sort of sketched out could look like in the world that has the sky like that. Am I making sense? So take your time, just superimpose images upon other images so you can see what your ideas could be. Usually this helps you get excited about what you can add on as you go. And also, if you have an artist who can actually do this for you, even better. Or if you can draw yourself, redraw the same sketches, the spaceship and a building based on what you drew into now a computer or Photoshop. It can be Procreate and add on a sky for the buildings, and for the spaceship just add on space, an image of space that shows the stars. And tell me what you think. Tell me what you feel after seeing that. Now, that stage is really important because you're already visualizing what your different sketches could be in your bigger story of world building. Concept 2 in world building. Now that we've seen what this could be, if you're an artist and you already have your sketches drawn on a paper or a notebook, I want you to modify this, take this way further than what we did before. Now, for the spaceship, choose 3 colors that represent where your characters comes from. For example, some of my characters that come from a planet of water, I would choose a bit of blue and maybe a bit of light, bright colors to kind of put into the spaceship design. And the other question you can ask yourself, what powers your spaceship? Is it water? Is it powered by some sort of, power from space? What would that power look like if it was to be put within that spaceship through the engine? Now, if you get an idea of a color, you use that to, color your spaceship. So you can add in the color of the power, the color of what the world looks like. Also, it could be any colors that you feel like your superhero will have on their costumes. Now, when it comes to the buildings and infrastructures, come up with anything that looks really cool. For example, for me, in a lot of African items, like I showed you before, even cloth that people wear, they're super colorful. There's got so many colors. So when it came to like building the world of the Heinemann, I'll put an image here. You can see how we drew inspirations from these items to build the sort of town and little village where the Heinemann live, and added so much color in the buildings. Look at the structures and the colors that we added in there. So with your structure as well, I want you to pick up like maybe 5 to 6 colors and start coloring. Just have fun. Remember, have fun. This stage is key because this is what you're gonna show your artists before they can start getting all those ideas and putting them into your story, especially if you're doing a comic book. And this is also other references you can use if you're a filmmaker and you want to draw inspiration on what you can build as a set. And if you're an animator, this is also a good stage to have some sort of references from ideas that you sort of came up with before you built that world. So these stages are really important. Have fun coloring the spaceship and these different structures that exist in your world. And let's go to the next stage. So tips for this: just start. Don't think so much about this. Just start. If you have an idea, it could be just a line, right? It could be just a line. Draw that. Put some weird shapes around it. Just start. And tomorrow when you come, you can always modify from the line that you drew. It always starts with just one leap of faith to start drawing. And then the other tip I could give you: don't think about how perfect it needs to be. It doesn't need to be perfect for the first sketch. Remember, it's a reference. And the final tip I could give you: remember, your spaceship, your structures may be modified as you go, or your artist may suggest few tweaks. Leave room for your other creative people that you work with to add in some ideas, because sometimes when you're collaborating with people, you know that saying that two heads are better than one. Some people may bring in some really cool ideas. As long as you make it clear, as long as you're not changing my idea, they usually bring some cool ideas. That's why I love collaboration. I feel like different people working on your world building, bringing some ideas, could tweak things a little bit and make it really better. This is what happened with my spaceship. I'll show you. From my sketch here to what we did from issue 1 to 5 of Bits of War to what Joe Bennett drew for volume 2 of the upcoming book. You can see how the ship has evolved from point A to B to C. And I've always let my mind think freely, but also let other people bring in some ideas to sort of polish up the general idea I had, which was the initial sketch, from what I'd drawn inspiration from, which is the music instrument, to the first ship, to what it is now. And now you're going to see it in volume 2 of Bits of War. It's going to be super detailed. And I absolutely love this whole process of building worlds and building different things that do exist in the world. And don't forget to have so much fun as you're doing this.